Hello, everybody. I'm just looking in the chat. I see some of you are already talking to each other. I love that. Welcome. Today, we are doing another fun creative challenge. And I am Jen. I'm your host of our weekly Tuesday creative challenges. I am one of the co-founders of Altenew, and I'm thrilled to be hosting and crafting with you guys every week because it definitely pushes me out of my comfort zone, and I'm hoping it does the same for you. Just a bit of business to get out of the way, especially if you're new here. You have a couple opportunities to win a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. The first one is the easiest. All you need to do is share while we're live. And I have to give you a heads up, this is going to be a shorter live than usual for a very special reason. So if you want to get a chance to win that gift certificate, you do need to share while we're live. So please don't forget to do that. You could just go ahead and hit the share button to share it. If you do, come back here, say I shared it so that we know to put you in the running after we're done being live. Then you might win and you might get picked. If you get tagged, all you have to do is email us and we'll hook you up with those $15 to get anything on your crafty wish list. The other way is not as easy, but it's more fun, in my opinion. And all you need to do is get crafty with us. You don't need to create a finished project. You just need to do something that fulfills the prompt. So I know that, you took the initiative, you did something for yourself, you took some time for yourself to do a hobby or a passion that you really enjoy, and then take a picture, share it with the hashtag Altenew Challenge Live. And I'll be checking out your projects during the week, and one of them will get featured next week. And that person will also win a $15 gift certificate. So without further ado, let's first talk about last week's challenge. And let me also see if I'm missing anybody. Tracy says, who's behind the badge today? I'm being a terrible host. I did not message in our group beforehand. I believe it's Angel. It's supposed to be Angel all the time, but she wasn't available last week, which is why we had Han. They're both lovely. But it should be Angel. Maybe whoever's behind the badge can ID themselves. So last week we did a fun envelope challenge. So I took out 4 different Altenew colored envelopes. I put a different prompt in each, and I let you guys pick the color via a poll. And here we go. This is what I created last week. This is the Washi Wonderland prompt we ended up having. And the prompt is to feature washi on your card, not just have it somewhere in the background or like as a little accent. It should be a feature on the project. So what I did was I had washi in the background, and then also these flowers are from washi tape. And I do have 2 different floral arrangements. I fussy cut them after I adhered them to cardstock. And then we added some embellishments, and it's a really cool card. I don't know. I enjoy it. I like the contrast, how the flowers pop off of the dark. I like the geometric background with the watercolory foreground. And it was easy to do because it was mostly washi tape. So that was my project. Now, who's the project that is winning for this week? And as always, just give me a moment to share because it takes a couple of seconds to just press the buttons I need to press. Okay, so give a little drum roll. Without further ado, our winner is Sue. So Stamping Sue in Connecticut. And I picked this card because I thought it was a really clever way to feature the washi tape because it's a quilt design. So if you are somebody who's a quilter or into, I guess, any fabric art, but especially quilting where you have pattern pieces and you piece them together like we do paper piecing, you have different fabric textures, different fabric designs, different scales of patterns, and you make them all work together on your quilt. And excuse me, this is like a quilt block. So if you were creating a quilt, you would have many of these in a grid. Excuse me. And I thought it was clever to do the same thing with washi tape. So it's a great way to feature multiple pieces of washi tape. But even though they don't technically like officially go together. You might be like, all right, well, one's kind of green, one's kind of brown, the others are black and white. How will I get them to go? For some reason, putting them in a quilting arrangement just makes it work. So I really thought that was a clever way to create a card based on the Washi Wonderland prompt. So Sue W, I'm going to say Sue W because I think if I try to pronounce your last name, I will mispronounce it. Sue, go ahead and email us at winner@altenew.com so that we can get you hooked up with your $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Yay! All right. So I love all the support I'm seeing of Sue in the comments. You all did a really great job. If there were any I didn't get to commenting on, I apologize. I do try to get to as many as I can with the comments, but I do look at every project that is posted. So if you don't get a comment, don't feel bad. I'm there. I saw it. Okay. So let me see. Yeah, Tracy says this should be framed. It's really beautiful, right? That's great. Deborah says, I have so many washi tapes and this is so adorable and clever. I have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to be creating quilt block cards now because, yeah, that's a great idea. And especially washi tapes being a lot of times like a narrow strip, you can do those like overlapping patterns and really make a cool like piece together look out of it. So I like it. And then I'll read one more comment before we get into today's challenge. Sharita says, hello all, I just joined and my ears perked up as soon as I heard quilting. I'm a new quilter and I love quilt cards too. That's great to hear. I really want to get into quilting as somebody who sews garments and like some accessories. Like I've sewed some handbags before, but mostly I like sewing dresses, skirts. I've sewn a pair of pants and I love sewing costumes. Quilting scares me, like the precision, right? Because you imagine like if you have all these pieces that fit perfectly together, if you're just like a little bit askew and those corners don't line up, that seems really stressful. With sewing, usually when you're matching seams, you don't have that many seams converging at once. It's usually just like the seam from the top matching the seam from the skirt. But with the quilting, some of them get real complex and you have all these seams together and cool angles. So it does terrify me a little bit, but if I could get into quilting, I would love that. And Aisha says it can have such a great effect with geometric pattern paper. Yeah, good idea to do it with pattern paper as well. Like I said, it's kind of a great way to get patterns and prints that might otherwise be kind of clashing to live together in harmony, because like that's just the way the look is, right? Again, you want different scales of patterns. So maybe a small polka dot paired with like a larger flower or different colors. So really cool. So thank you, Sue, and everybody else who played along. And now let's get to today's challenge. So I told you that this is going to be a shorter video than usual. And that is because this week we are doing a timed challenge. I know, right? That's kind of scary. So today's challenge is going to be the creative countdown. And way back in the day, there used to be a challenge called the 10-minute craft dash, or was it just called the craft dash? I think it was a 10-minute craft dash. And you need to create a card or project in 10 minutes. Now that just seems like a little extreme for live. I've done it many times before as a challenge. Like I said, back in the day when I used to enter a whole lot of card making challenges, I loved doing the 10-minute craft dash. And floating around on the internet, there might still be some videos of a younger version of me creating for these craft dash challenges. But I personally thought for live, it might be too hard. First of all, a 10-minute live project demo isn't as much fun, but also I am still going to be talking and teaching and, doing my usual thing. And I think 10 minutes, I wouldn't get much done because of the talking, right? That automatically slows you down. So we're going with a 20-minute timer today. Tracy says, I usually watch while doing other things and then craft afterwards. Oh, probably usually watch. Not sure what you're watching. People are going to be falling down the stairs. Okay. Maybe I missed something. And then Liz says, by the way, happy anniversary month to the Altenew family. Yes, today is the start of April, and April is our anniversary. We did start Altenew back in 2014 in April, and I'm just really excited to be here now for our 11th year. I am in honor of today, so I'm glad you mentioned the anniversary because I forgot to mention, I am wearing my 10th anniversary shirt, and here we are now rolling into year 11. And I just never imagined back when we started Altenew way in the day that we would still be here with such an amazing supportive community and such fantastic customers. And even the businesses that we work with, the ones who like our wholesale accounts that sell our product, everybody's just so lovely. And it's really great to be here. So thank you so much for your support. And if you're new to Altenew, thanks for giving us a try, either trying our products or even just being here and checking out the live. And we'll be doing fun anniversary things all month. So you could definitely check us out on social media and on our website and find out information about that. Our marketing director is May Park, and she and her team have a lot of fun things planned throughout the month. So make sure that you continue to tune in for our 11th anniversary. Yay! All right. So let me pop you down and I'll let you know how this is going to work. And I do have a timer that's going to keep me on schedule, hopefully. I hope. All right. So let's see here. Popping us down to the other camera. There we go. Okay. So I did a little more planning than usual, not much, but slightly more planning than usual. And I think it does still count if you do a little planning ahead of time, maybe gather your supplies. I've done challenges times before where I had no supplies out and you just have to like run and dash to get them. But for this one, I say get your supplies out and ready and then set your 20-minute timer. So you can have a thought or a plan in mind. But the whole point of this challenge is to see that you don't need a lot of time to devote to your hobby. You can work on something in a small amount of time. And like if you have 20 minutes, maybe after the kids go down for bed, or maybe you have some time in the morning before you go to work or other things that you're doing, you know, you can find little snippets of time throughout the day and see how much you can get done in that time. As usual, you don't have to have a completed project, but that being said, try to get as much done. I don't want you to just be like, oh, I set a timer for 20 minutes and all I did was like stamp a sentiment and here's my sentiment. I will submit this for the challenge. Try to get as much done as you can. This also forces us to not be so particular, perfectionist, you know, the things that many of us, the qualities that many of us tend to have, this perfectionism. So mistakes, you just have to let them go with the flow because you want to do as much as possible in that amount of time. So a few weeks ago on one of the challenges, I was pulling out different stencils and I had this good vibe stencil out. And I remember I said on the live, like, oh, I'm not going to use this today, but I want to put it on my desk and I'll use it later. Well, today I was trying to figure out what to use and I saw this and I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm going to be using is this good vibe stencil. And then I also needed something to pair it with. So I grabbed our retro bicycle layering stamp set and also the die set because I figured this is like a nice little pairing, like this retro bike. Here, I'll show you what it looks like this, paired up with one of these patterns and designs. I think I might go for like this rainbowy type look. We shall see. Liz says, yeah, say no to overthinking, right? Just go with the flow, even if it's just for once, even if it's just this one challenge and you go back to overthinking every other project that you do, that's fine. If that's your style, that's the way you work, that's what does it for you, that's fine. But for this, see what you can get done in that 20 minutes. So I've got this. Now, as far as other supplies, inks and things, I did not take any of that out. So my ink blenders are stored away. My ink is stored away. Adhesive, things like that, I will have to grab as we go along. But like I said, these things are out already. I do also have the 9x12 sticky mat out because I know I will be doing my stenciling on this. And I have my stamp wheel out so that I can do stamping. And then behind me on my shelf is my die cutter. So I will pull that out when needed as well. Whew. All right, you guys, that's been 15 minutes and we haven't crafted yet. This is what I was saying about talking too much, not getting much done. All right, so let's see. Geraldine says, my mixed media panels wouldn't even be dry in 20 minutes. Do I get to stop and start the clock? I want to say no. I want to be nice and say yes, right? Like, again, the whole point of our creative challenges every week is to just be creative and whatever that looks like for you. But I'm going to urge you, if you can, just go with it. What would happen if your panel wasn't dry and you started to put things on it? I don't know. Maybe you'll find out, and maybe it'll be a disaster, and then you could post the disaster and share it with us. It'll be a learning experience. But yeah, if you really feel like in order to let something dry, I don't know. I guess you can. I'm going to say hesitantly, sure. So take that as you wish. I would like you to do 20 minutes without dry time, but you do you, okay? Thank you for asking. That was a great question. All right, I think it's time to get this party started. So I'm trying to see where I can put my timer so that it is, oh, did you guys just see my password? I hope not. I wasn't even paying attention. Well, if you ever get my iPad and you could unlock it, I guess maybe I'll change the password. Christine says, where do we post our finished projects? You could post it to the Facebook group. You could post it on Instagram, just wherever you post it. Make sure it's public, because if it's not public, then I won't be able to see it. Okay. Some of you also like post on your blog. So you'll put something on social media, and then on your blog, you'll put more information. That's fine too, whatever works for you. All right. So we've got 20 minutes. I don't know what the twinkle timer is, but that's what's going to go off when we're done. Let me get some of this out of the way. I do have some pre-cut cardstock panels. I didn't do that specifically for this challenge, but I've told you before, I always just have pre-cut A2 panels when I'm crafting. They're just always there. And let's see. Yeah, this will be okay. I might need to scoot this out of the way if I need to show you better what we're doing. But at least we'll start the challenge here so you could see we're not cheating. 20 minutes is on the clock. Let me put the volume up so we make sure we hear it. You guys ready? Let's do a countdown. On your mark, get set, go. All right. So I'm going to start with the Good Vibes stencil. And I knew that I wanted to use this fun background. Okay, I'll move this over a little bit. We'll see if we could keep that kind of off to the side. All right. Let's go. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate the hype up. For our stencils and layering stamps and building stencils and things like that, we always have instructions on how you do it. So for this one, you ink, flip, and then ink again. But this one also has some masks that will cover certain areas. Oh my gosh, I'm talking so much and I'm wondering how this is going to happen. All right, so we've got the masks that cover different areas while you're blending so that you don't get ink in different portions if you want to do different colors. And of course, I want to do lots of different colors. So let's get this going. I'll do a, let's see, vertical or horizontal card. Let's do vertical. Okay, popping my card panel down. Taking my stencil, trying to center it up as best as I can. I'm not going for precision because we don't have time for precision. This is what we have time for, right? Okay. So that looks about center. If it's not, it's okay. All right, my sticky mat is holding down my stencil. And now let's see if we could find the little masks to pop in. Okay, there's one. Here's another one. Okay, I think just these two should be fine because I'll start blending on this side. We'll grab some of the mini ink blending tools and let's get some ink. All right, we'll do kind of a rainbow. So let's start with, let's go like with the pink. I'm going to go with Coral Bliss. We're starting off with a Coral Bliss. Again, I did not pre-select any of my ink, so we're just going to do as it comes. Okay, so I'm going here and inking this up and just trying to be careful to pretty much ink it as evenly as I can. When I ink up flower stencils, I'm not worried about the blending being uneven. And that's because in nature, the flower petals would have some variation, right? Also, there'd be some depth where maybe you have a darker area. So the darker area would be more shadowed. So it's kind of easy to go with any amount of inking on flower petals. But for this, I want to keep it pretty much even throughout. So I think that looks great. So let's close up the Coral Bliss. Now, don't forget, in between this one and this one, there's going to be another color there. So I'm going to leave this section like some kind of orange. I don't know which orange because I haven't selected it yet. But that means now for this portion, I'm going to do yellow. Okay, so I'll grab a yellow ink blending brush. I'll take out this mask. Let's see if I could find another mask. Is that this one? Yep. So I could cover this up. They are all etched. So this says C1. But again, I don't have time to look for those etchings because it's 15 minutes left. We've already wasted a lot of time. Okay. Warm Sunshine. This feels like a great color to go with. Sue, yeah, I'm brave for doing a time challenge during a live. And I don't know if I'm going to finish this card. We will see. And just like when you guys do yours, if you don't finish it, that's okay. You could still submit what you have. You could finish it another time. I just want to see what we can all get done in 20 minutes. Okay, so look, I've got that mask there. I wasn't really holding it into place. We got a little yellow where I didn't want it. It's okay. We're going with the flow, you know? I could also wipe off the stencil in between so I don't have any chance of contamination of colors, but don't have time. So again, the perfectionism goes out the window for a timed challenge like this. Okay, again, trying to keep it as solid as I can, inked evenly. That looks good to me. Okay, so after the yellow, we would have some kind of green. After the green, I'm thinking I will have maybe like a pool color. So right next to me, I've got 2 drawers full of the fresh dye ink, and beneath that, I have 2 full of the crisp dye ink. Let's do Volcano Lake. And that's that one. That's that one. Okay, stick this back in. We have one more mask to find. The skinny one right here. Okay. And then we need another ink blender. And then what color did I do? Volcano Lake. Okay. So let's try to keep these masks in place a little bit better. And then we'll do a blue and then some kind of purple. Rainbow order. Anytime I make a rainbow on my cards, do you know who I think of? Put it in the comments. It's an influencer, crafter. I've known her for longer than Altenew's been in existence. She used to be on my Runway Inspired Challenge. She and I used to submit to Paper Crafts magazine together. She's still in the crafting game. I wonder if you guys know who it is I'm thinking about. Okay, so I will reveal that in a minute. So you guys are starting to put some names in. So that was Volcano Lake. And let's, for blue, go with Aqualicious. Oh yeah, so Aqualicious will be here. Let's set that aside. And now we need some kind of purple. And let's see. Or do I want... Yeah, I think I'll do like a violet-y color. Let's go with Alpine Aster. I think that'll look pretty after the Aqualicious. All right, I'm seeing names going in, and one of you got it correct. I think of Laura Basson every time. She is like the queen of rainbow. And if you don't follow her, go follow her because her cards are spectacular. Okay, after we do this, I'm going to have to quickly wipe all my stencils down and dry them because I've made the mistake of putting a wet stencil on my cardstock and then you get kind of splotchy colors. Time check, we're at 11 minutes. I knew the background was going to take a lot. I'm glad that the bike doesn't have that many stamp layers. I'm just wondering if I'm going to have time to die cut it. So we'll see. Okay, let's peel this off. See what we've got working for us so far. Yep, I do have a little bit of bleed through because I'm working quickly, but that is a-okay. I'm not too worried about that. Going with the flow. All right, let's wipe down the masks as well, because what happens is all of these stencils get flipped over. Maybe I'll start stamping my bike. So let me take this away. I'll put it on my computer. I always tell you guys so that if I lose things, you can tell me later where I put it. So when I say, where's my card panel, you guys will say it's at your computer. All right, let's clean these off. And then they can dry while I do my bicycle. And I think we'll just use the same colors that we did on the background. Okay, so this looks good. Great, let that dry. And then I think I had another mask that I have to clean up. Make sure, clean on both sides. And then the last one. Okay. Over to the bike. This too. All right, we'll set all of this over on my paper trimmer. So the stencils are on my paper trimmer and my card panel is on my computer. Note to self. Okay, Aqualicious, we're saving for later. Oh my gosh, somebody's calling me. Not a good time, Mom. My mom's FaceTiming me, you guys. Should I get the call? Hi, Mom. I'm on live. I hope you don't mind. So
okay, I'll get off.
Okay, I'm doing a card challenge on Facebook and YouTube Live. So
Well, check it out.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Carrie says, always answer your mom. Yeah, you got to answer your mom, right? Okay. Oh my gosh, it's looking so much more complicated now. I said, this is a really easy to layer set. It is, but when you have 9 minutes left and you still have to finish your background, it's a little bit daunting. Okay. If needed, I could always leave the background like this and not put the other colors, but I really want to put the other colors. All right, layering guide right here. Let's do Rocky Shore for the wheels. I kind of like in the sample, there's brown. I think it makes it look more retro-y. I am going to die cut this out, so I'm not worried about where it's placed. So let's pop it on. Oh my gosh, guys, that timer is really haunting me. I think I could do it though. Let's see. Okay. And I'm not double stamping anything. I know a lot of you guys out there love double stamping. It really intensifies the color. It gets any spots you may have missed. We're not doing it. We don't have time. Okay, so it's going to look more vintage if we have any spots missed. That's just how it is. Okay, so Rocky Shore, and I'll use Mocha for the details. Those of you who are just joining us, sorry for the mayhem. We are doing a timed challenge. I have 7 minutes and 57 seconds left. And let me just line this up first. Sorry, guys, I can't talk and line up and be fast and all of this at once. Okay, I think this is good. Can't be perfect. Okay, so we're doing a time challenge. I started at 20 minutes, and I think I spent way too much time slowly talking and ink blending that now we're just in crazy mode, make it work. If you want to join in this challenge, make something in 20 minutes and then post it publicly with hashtag Altenew Challenge Live, and you will have an opportunity to win a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Also, of course, you can also win by sharing us while we are live. Why do I keep putting the acetate back on? I should just leave it off. Come on. All right. Next up is the A3 layer and then A4 and then A5. Okay. So A3 is going to go right here. And I will use Aqualicious and Teal Cave. So Aqualicious for this layer, and then Teal Cave for the darker layer. I will leave the Aqualicious out because, again, I want it on my background. 6 minutes. How is this happening? Okay. This is very, very challenging. How did I used to do 10-minute? That's what I want to know. When I did those 10-minute craft challenges. How in the world? Okay, get that as lined up as I can without being a perfectionist. And I'll use Teal Cave ink for this layer. Take a breath. Thank you. Can you tell? Guys, I'm sweating over here. 5 minutes. Okay. This is going to be so cute, though, when it's done. I promise. If I finish it. Okay. Love it. And then we shall do black for all the spokes and whatnot. So this is the final layer. Yeah, Joni says she loves the bicycle. This is an older set. I actually don't know how long ago we released this, but we're going out into the archives for this one. Okay, I don't know if that's lined up. Let's say yes. Okay, 5 minutes. So 75% of our time has lapsed. Okay, there we go. This just brings the whole thing together. Beautiful. Oh, I love that bike. Again, this is the retro bicycle stamp set. It's so fun. All right, I'm not cleaning off the rest of my stamp wheel. We'll just have to leave that like that. Put this aside. And then bring back our stenciling. It's actually going on the floor. Okay. I'll need it for sentiments, but it's on the floor for now. Okay, so we have the bicycle. Now, hopefully the stencils are dry. 4 minutes. Okay. Good. So you're going to set up the stencil to cover up what we inked up the first time. Allow the sticky mat to grab that. Pop in the the various masks. Okay, so I'm going to start here with Aqualicious. Let me just grab a new blender. So pretty. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. Come on, Jen, you can do it. All right, this will not be as beautifully inked as the other sections. That was my mistake, is taking too much time with the initial inking. I should have just said, you know what, this is vintage. It's not going to be perfectly inked. Okay. So that's that. Now I need some kind of green to go here. Pop down another mask. Let's go with Sweet Leaf. Probably not the green I wanted to choose, but this is the green I have in my hands. So this is the green we're getting. Yeah, I would have liked one with more, maybe a lighter one, but closer to the yellow. That's okay. 2 minutes. Can I die cut the bike and add a sentiment and adhere it in time is the real question. Okay. Now I need something orange. So let's go with orange cream. Nothing more orange than orange. Take this off. Get a new ink blender. It's going to be down to the wire. Oh my gosh. Kara, you're right. A minute? Oh, I can't die cut a minute. Okay. I don't even know if I can get this. Let's at least get the sentiment on, right? Oh no. Ah, the bike will be there. That's okay. The bike is going to go there. And let me get like a nice light pink for the last color. You guys, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it. Strawberry. Again, not the pink I was going to grab. This is so light, but it's the one that was right there. It was the closest. Okay. 54 seconds. All right, let's get a sentiment on. You know what? This is it. That's what we get. You get what you get. You don't get upset. Okay. Masks aside. Bike. Can I die cut in time? Or do I need to fussy cut? Fussy cutting. I think it's faster. It's not. It's not faster. But it might be faster than grabbing my supplies. 27 seconds. Oh my gosh. Just go around to Jen. You got this. 12 seconds. It needs a sentiment. How am I going to do it? Guys, I really am sweating. Pick my stamps off the floor. No. Oh, I'm going overtime, you guys. Just allow it. Okay. There we go. Woo! That's it. Oh my gosh. That was a challenge. Okay. So, as I have a disaster on my table of all this mess. All right. So let's debrief. Okay. Let's talk about this for a second while I clean some things. All right. So obviously I didn't finish the card in 20 minutes. Is that okay? Yes, that is okay. If you don't finish your project in 20 minutes, post what you have and tell us what happened. So if I was posting this, what I would say is I took a lot of time on inking my first layers, right? Oh my gosh, I'm seeing that these colors are almost identical. Oops. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I was supposed to use blue there. That was the problem. A more blue-green. Okay. So I would explain, okay, I took a lot of time inking my first layer. The bike took a little longer than usual because I was trying to get the layers lined up, even though I didn't need to be perfect. I did want them to get lined up. So I did that. I was worried I couldn't find my die cutting equipment in time because, like I said, it's still on the shelf. I didn't take it out ahead of time. I did make a mistake there, but the bike will be covered. And then I would post a picture of this, right? And say, this is what I got done in the 20 minutes. The bike is not adhered. You could even like do this, right? So I would post this as my submission. However, if you choose to finish your project, you could take another picture and share that too. So go ahead and say like, all right, well, the first picture is what I finished in the 20 minutes. And then the second picture, oh, there's my iPad. You guys don't need to see all my apps. Oh boy. All right. So then you could take another picture and be like, oh, but then I just took an extra 10 minutes and I finished it. So I used some foam tape. I adhered the bike, or maybe I would even go in and refine some of my fussy cutting. And then you would get to see the first slide compared to the second slide. Like, oh, wow, yeah, she did refine that and she covered up her mistake. That's great. But I think that would be a good way to share what you finished after the fact, but also show us what you did in 20 minutes, because that's the challenge. You want to do a project or a card. Doesn't have to be a card, but some kind of paper crafting project in 20 minutes. So share what you were able to get done. I think that'll be really fun to see what everybody was able to accomplish in that time. By the way, this says, have a really great day. I think that's such a funny, cute little sentiment. So post that. I cannot wait to see. This was what I finished in my 20 minutes. I'm not going to finish it now. I will finish it before the next live so you guys can see, because I want to stay true to the challenge. And like I said, this is my submission. My submission is my 20-minute card. I think we got a lot done in 20 minutes. Now, when I pre-planned this a little bit in my head, I had visions of embellishments and properly die cut bicycle that's not poorly fussy cut. But again, with 20 minutes, you do what you can do. And I think that goes to show that you don't need a lot of time to be creative. You can definitely take time here or there, do what you can do in bits and pieces. It's great to have an hour, 2 hours for like a long craft session where you can really like get in the zone, your mojo's flowing. But it's not realistic for everybody, and maybe not realistic all the time, but realistic some of the time. But when you just have a little bit of free time here and there and you want to do something, you definitely can achieve a project in 20 minutes. I think if I wasn't talking while I was creating, I definitely could have finished this in the 20-minute time period. All right, so let me pop you guys back up. Like I said, this one's a little bit shorter. We only have 15 minutes to 4, but I will be signing off soon. So this is my reminder to you. If you want to share while we're live, please go ahead and share us now. And we are gonna go ahead and wrap things up. You guys, like, I am literally sweating. Like, I don't even want to pick my arms up. You could see, look, gross. Okay, it's so gross, but it's not just the moving fast, it's the being nervous about it and being anxious. That's like, it puts your body into overdrive and you're like, oh my gosh. I'm hoping it's a little bit more of a calm experience for you, but I think there is still fun in that, like, go, 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 to see what you can do. This would also be fun to do a challenge with a friend. So either in person, so you guys can be next to each other crafting, or if you have a virtual friend, you could hop onto Zoom or like a Google Meet together, set the timer, ready, set, go, and see what you guys can do in your 20 minutes. And then you can both enter the challenge. There's a lot of ways that you can do this. Oh, did I lose sound, Tracy? You say sound is back. Okay. Oh, my sound just died and screen froze you. Nobody else is saying that, so it might just be you. But I hope it wasn't me. I'm sorry if that's the case. So let's go back and recap. This is our anniversary month. Like I said, I'm wearing last year's anniversary shirt, my lovely 10-year anniversary shirt. And here we are now starting our 11th year this month. So there's going to be so many fun festivities going on. I am Jen, one of the co-founders of Altenew. So if you're new here, welcome. This was a little more chaotic than usual, but it's still always a little chaotic when you join my lives. I am here every Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. So if you're not in the US or if you're not on the Eastern time zone, just check out the time conversion so you can join us at the correct time. And the challenge is to make a card or project in 20 minutes. So definitely show us what you got done in that time. It doesn't have to be finished. Okay. I can't stress that enough. I know I say it all the time, but I don't want you to have the pressure that maybe you have in other challenges. There are other challenges where you need to have a really polished project to even be considered. And I want you to know you don't. You can just post what you did. Okay. So another congratulations to Sue for winning last week. If you join and you share your project, make sure to add the hashtag Altenew Challenge Live, because that's how I'm going to be able to find it. And then you might be the one who gets featured next week. We shall see. So sorry for the chaos. I think it's fun. I got to go take a shower now. And I will see you guys soon. So let me just get my little outro ready. I don't want to forget to put that video on, since probably a third of the time I do forget that. And I hope you guys have an amazing and crafty day. Bye, everyone.